in a way that's going to lead to the beliefs that I hold prospering. And if that's going to cost me money. Now, I've heard, I've given talks where somebody said, I'm a homeschooling mum, I've got 9 kids, and I can only afford to shop at Walmart. I said, listen, if you can only afford to shop in Walmart, have a 10th kid and shop at Walmart, that's fine. But what we need to do is to actually look at ourselves and ask ourselves, do we need to only shop in Walmart?
Well, here's my question then. What's wrong with, well, that's not the right way to put it. I think the way, or a way to do that, is to buy second-hand, because then you are buying from a small shop.
I'm all in favour of buying second-hand. I had in my mind most of the time I was talking about that food. Second-hand food's not very... But I agree, second-hand clothes...
I'm asking you though, is that a way to do that? I mean, you can do it with food because you can go to Whole Foods markets and small farmers, but is a used clothing and household goods place, is that...
Absolutely. My wife and I bought an armchair from Goodwill last week.
Look at Dale's suit.
Yeah. You can have sartorial elegance and buy second hand as well.
You can. I'm not a beer drinker, so I don't have an intimate knowledge of beer and quality, but is there something to be learned? You implied in your comment about the small microbreweries versus the large brewers that there's somehow a better quality associated with the small brewers. Is there something about human nature that we standardize to a low standard? Can we learn from the brewing industry?
Well, yeah, for the 2 things. Some things are just better, as regards the quality of the product, some things are just much better produced on a small scale. Ale is an obvious example, and cheese is another example. Some things, of course, you can produce, cars, for instance, are better produced on a large scale. You probably could produce a superb car, a one-off, but it would be incredibly expensive. But, so, there's 2 things here though. First of all, the quality of the product. Because what was happening is that the consumers didn't start buying the beer from the big 4 brewers because that's what they wanted. It's because methodically what was happening is the small brewers were being put out of business because of basically unethical business practices, so that all that was left was the bad beer. And I use that example of whether we should do something about that. But the other thing, of course, in a distributive sense, that Chesterton and Belloc would stress, and quite rightly, is it's better to have 200 small family businesses producing ale than 1 mega brewery. So it's not just the quality of the product, it's the quality of the social fabric that comes from having ownership widely spread, productive ownership widely spread.
I had a question about the EU and Daniel Hannon's role in the EU, and kind of want to know what your thoughts are on what he's trying to do with the EU and promoting David Cameron and negating the Quangos and talking against the common agricultural policy and the common fisheries policy?
Well, basically the problem is you can certainly work to reform the monster, but it is a monster, and I think ultimately the best thing to do with monsters is to follow the model of St. George and not the model of Daniel Hannan. That's, really the very structure of the European Union is profoundly undemocratic, it's profoundly corrupt. Methodically, every year, the audit finds evidence of widespread corruption, and methodically, every year, the whole thing is just pushed aside. I mean, it's something akin to what you learn is happening in Latin America. It's absolutely scandalous. And of course, until you can slay it, try to put its teeth, and that's fine. But ultimately, you need to slay it.
We're going to stop here. I want to thank Joseph. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Excellent.